etc. And you are going to try to get these objectives done on scene, trying to avoid using up all your revive tokens, and then eventually you're going to extract. So there's actually a ship that comes for you, and the first person on the ship, as you can see, can use a turret to help the team finish up that final objective, help the team extract, which is kind of a cool feature. I mean, kind of a gimmick to be honest, but hey, I thought it was cool. Now, on top of that, the ad density is pretty high, and they're sending a ton of mini-bosses and yellow bars at you constantly, at least on the higher difficulties. And so that makes the objectives feel pretty intense, and there was good differentiation between the objectives we got to play. So, one, you're just clearing waves, normal ad clear. And you can actually wager this Deathmark currency that you earn for playing these activities, and the more you wager, the better your rewards will be, but if you fail your objective, you lose everything. Now, as for your objective, you need to get 6 total points, and that means every kill is 1 point. A real guardian, they drop a crest, you can go pick that up, and that's another point. So if you get a full squad wipe and all of their crests, boom, you're done, you're out of there. Honestly, it is incredibly fast, and so if you are a good invader, you can chalk up some crazy rewards. But again, you need to have the right currency. So you can't just invade non-stop 24/7. You're gonna have to go back into the normal activities to farm out that currency. Now, this also means that if you're getting invaded, they wipe your whole squad, they pick up your crests, they're out, they just have revive tokens. And so, while this absolutely can end your run, and you can run out of revive tokens and be screwed, especially if you're losing revive tokens like before the invader comes, often if you're a better PvE player, it'll just be an annoying thing that happens, they leave, and you can go on to complete the rest of your activity. You can only be invaded once, to the best of my knowledge. And so, overall, it's just kind of an interesting dynamic. You can completely avoid getting invaded, guys. Just don't match, make in the contested zones, pick the easier difficulties. As you can see, it'll say which specific difficulties will have invasion turned on, and it's not guaranteed that you will be invaded. And so, are you going to go after these contested zones, risk getting the best rewards, but you might have your activity ended by an invasion? That's kind of the interesting thing of these activities. And keep in mind, guys, both the invader and the normal players in the activity have access to all of these crazy renegade abilities that we talked about within the faction segment. And so, hey, you have some incredible PvP player invading you, say Wallabra is invading you, Defizzle is invading you, I'm going to call down an ATST and we'll see how good your sniper shot is against that. So yeah, that's a whole other dynamic, is that you have anti-invasion, essentially, things you can call it. There's one that's like a recon drone that will expose where the invader is, or if you're invading, it'll expose where the players are. So that's a whole other dynamic, and it was actually a pretty interesting thing. So that's the activity. Again, a lot going on. That's probably the feature I'm going to spend the most time talking about in this video. And overall, I'm definitely more positive for this than whatever the heck the Edge of Fate had going on, to be honest. And honestly, what was the scene? whatever, dude. So that's all pretty good. Moving on from there, feature number 3, and that is going to be the new Renegades weapons. Guys, the weapons in this expansion are not your average Destiny 2 weapons. And that's because there are some whole new weapon types being added. Specifically, you have blasters. These are way different than any other legendary weapon, any other weapon archetype currently in the game. There's actually 2 different kinds of blasters you can get, 2 different archetypes that a blaster can be. So, you have dynamic heat blasters. Now, these can actually hit a perfect reload, and what that means is that you hit the reload. As you can see, you're going to start reloading. You can see you're venting the weapon, and you have this little bar going down, and if you hit reload again at the perfect time where there's a little notch in this bar, then you actually get a few seconds of drastically reduced heat buildup. So you can actually spam dynamic heat weapons if you are hitting those perfect reloads. And then you have balanced heat weapons. These also have a special perfect reload, but it's right before you're going to overheat the weapon. And you can see me do that right here. I press reload again when it's in the notch, and I get a fast reload. If I was to keep shooting until it overheats, you can see it's a much longer reload animation. So these essentially have like a built-in reload perk, a built-in feeding frenzy, or even outlaw that you can activate if you are hitting reload at the right time. But that is just scratching the surface of what these heat weapons, these blasters can do. So on top of having these perfect reload mechanics, they'll also slowly lose heat over time, even when stowed. That's right, guys. They all have a built-in, basically, auto-loading holster. Now, it's incredibly inefficient, but it still works if you're using, for example, the big blaster machine gun that's like a legendary sweet business looking thing. Incredible weapon, by the way. But you're just about to overheat with that, throw it away, switch weapons, use your special, forget about it, finish the encounter, and then later on, you whip out that machine gun, it might be fully cooled down, so you'll never actually have to reload it. But on top of that, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you want to reload, you've got this. So you can spam reload, you can spam vents as much as possible because you can hit the reload button after any amount of shooting, just like any other gun. But unlike any other gun, you can instantly stop venting and start shooting again whenever you want. Now, why would I ever want to do this? Well, the weapon you're seeing me do this with right now has heal clip. And yes, it works with heal clip. So what that means is I can shoot, I can get a kill, I can click reload, vent for like 0.1 seconds, instantly break the vent, start shooting again, cancel the reload animation, that will still trigger heal clip. And so any sort of perk like heal clip, kill clip, oh my goodness, it synergizes with that capability. So these blaster weapons are extremely good. And I think when people like initially get them, and then later on, when people start to realize all of these cool little interactions you can do, they will become meta.
There's audio. Is there audio?
We also have some more innovation. We have a burst fire SMG. You know, as the new competitive
What the fuck is going on
as
again?
usual, we have some brand new perks, especially for those blaster weapons. They have unique perks that apply to their, cooldown overheat mechanics. Then for the exotic weapons, I mean, the lightsaber is actually sick. It actually feels like a lightsaber. Honestly, Bungie nailed this.
Oh
Being
god,
able to block and
okay.
reflect bullets, right? Being able to throw your lightsaber, have it bounce
Monitor
between
output, there we go.
Not to mention, it's incredibly customizable, and it's a special weapon, so the ammo economy is so much better. You're going to be able to use it so much more. Guys, that thing is going to be meta beyond meta. It is going to be an extreme